Hello, everyone. Welcome to Our Work Future. We're Sam and Charles. Each week, we cover the latest topics that impact the working world, jobs, education, and technology.
Today, Sam and I are starting our series about education. We'll discuss all the things you need to keep in mind to make an informed decision about your career path. And before we begin, let us know in the comments, what does education mean to you? Let's get started.
Today, we're tackling two big topics that are making headlines: the White House's new rule aimed at eliminating predatory colleges, and President Biden's second attempt at student loan cancellation.
This rule is a significant step in the right direction. For years, we've seen students burdened with enormous debt, only to find out that their degrees don't offer the kind of financial returns they were expecting. The new rule is designed to hold educational institutions accountable. It uses metrics like the debt-to-earnings ratio and what's known as the earnings premium test to evaluate the effectiveness of college programs. If a program fails these tests consistently, it risks losing eligibility for federal financial aid. This is a way to ensure that colleges are actually preparing students for gainful employment, rather than just saddling them with debt.
That's a great call for colleges to make sure they also think about all the skills a person needs in their job, as having just knowledge is not enough. Now let's pivot a bit. While the government is trying to make colleges more accountable, there's also a renewed push for student loan forgiveness. A panel is currently discussing the details of a new proposal for loan relief. This brings us to a fundamental question: who should really be responsible for funding education? And who's responsible for making sure you get value for it? Should it be the colleges that are more focused on enrollment numbers, the government that's supposed to regulate education, or the students who are the direct beneficiaries? Let us know your opinion in the comments.
It's a shared responsibility, but the onus is increasingly falling on the individual. We need to be savvy consumers of education, just like we are with everything else. We can't just accept the narrative that's been handed to us. We need to write our own stories, ones that don't necessarily involve crippling debt and uncertain job prospects. While the new rule focuses on making educational institutions more accountable, the Loan Forgiveness Initiative is about providing immediate relief to students who are already in debt. The government seems to be working on a two-pronged approach. On one hand, they're trying to ensure that future students get value for their money. On the other hand, they're looking at ways to alleviate the financial burden on those who have already completed their education. It's a complex issue, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
We have the government stepping in to regulate colleges and protect students from falling into the debt trap in the first place. But then, we also have this ongoing debate about existing student loans. Should taxpayers foot the bill for mass loan forgiveness? Or should the government find another way to ease the burden on students? It's a contentious issue and opinions are divided.
The government leaders who are financially conservative are already pushing back against the idea of mass loan cancellation, arguing that it would unfairly benefit college graduates at the expense of taxpayers who didn't go to college. So, it's a divisive issue for sure. But the bottom line is that both these initiatives indicate that the government is actively taking steps to reform the education system and the way financial aid works. It's about time we had some accountability and relief in this sector.
Well, Charles, we've covered a lot today, from the new rules on gainful employment to student loan forgiveness. One thing's clear: making an informed decision about your education is more crucial than ever.
It's not just about picking a career you're passionate about anymore. You have to consider the return on investment of your education. Will your chosen field provide enough income to justify the cost and time spent on your degree?
And let's not forget about student loans. With the new gainful employment rule, students have a better chance of understanding the debt they're taking on and how it compares to their future earnings. It's a step towards transparency that was long overdue.
Remember to look beyond the job title. Consider the long-term prospects, the changing job market, and most importantly, how you're going to manage any debt you accrue.
Because at the end of the day, an informed decision is a smart decision. And in today's fast-evolving job market, being smart about your career and educational choices is non-negotiable.
Let us know in the comments, what does education mean to you? And as always, like this video and subscribe for more discussions like this. Until next time.
See you next week, everyone.